he's in kind of a pickle because I can just keep pouring light tanks on, and he doesn't really have a tech that can respond adequately.
Yeah, the M11s will lose one-on-one to the T26, and you've also taken out one of
Yeah,
his depots, so now he's lying on 2, and you're lying on 3, 4. So actually, you've got a major advantage now. Do you take 2 as depots down, or no? No, it's only 1. No, no, he's on 3.
yeah, I did
Sorry,
take two.
forgetting the one at the back.
No, yeah, I just got the one. I'm sorry. Yeah, I tried to go for the second, but with an infantry flank, but he took two M11s and stopped me. Although
He
he
just
ran them into
lost.
the forest.
There comes the air. A fighter. Don't know what it's gonna do, but he just lost 2 M11s there, kind of stupidly. He just ran them into your cardio in the forest. He must have been too busy in the middle.
Yeah, that was a unforced error. Yeah, because he was distracted. But I mean, the reason why I pushed on him, because I knew that air transition was coming, and I knew it was vital to get my own airfield up. But I also used that time to be offensive in the center to force him to spend all that money on infantry, so he couldn't make bombers.
Yeah. And he's
And
got a
so,
couple of
if I had,
Sierras. And
yeah, he does. So he's trying to wrest control.
I mean, I think it's great that he's got Sierras and he shot down one of your air tracks, but I don't know if it was the right thing to do when there's these T26s knocking at your door. I mean,
Yeah, that's really the
bunker
bigger
though.
problem, that he didn't tech to respond to the tank threat. Yeah, I mean, and he's got that anti-tank position, and that'll help because I'll run off.
Yeah.
But he could have responded to that more adequately to protect his depot. And if you notice that light infantry, it's now snuck into my base and captured
Just
my
captured
HQ.
HQ. Yeah. Okay.
Whoops.
Yeah,
So
no, he's gonna
obviously
go.
that's
Uh-oh. I mean, that's the worst sound to hear in Ruse when you're just like completely on the other side of the battlefield, zoomed in, and you just hear dun dun. Dun.
right,
um.
and I do a big what the fuck at that point,
Yeah, exactly.
and like pull back because I'm zoomed in on his base. I pull back and I immediately start popping out infantry and zoning my own HQ with those guns. Because as you can see, he's tried to pop trucks out, but I have the AT guns hidden there, and they've already saved me. Needless to say, though, he gets the barracks down, so that could be a headache.
Definitely. So now he's probably gonna spend all his money on trying to win the game here and now, capping this and.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, no, but it looks like you've held. So, um, didn't go too well for him. Unfortunately.
No, it was a great idea and totally an oversight on my part. Big mistake on my part there. Could have cost me the game.
Yeah.
But I responded and I defended my sectors adequately enough to be secure
Yeah, it was well done. It
afterwards.
was,
And after that, he drops.
yeah, it was a quick little game. It was nice. Not the well, I suppose in a 1v1 it is sort of yeah, that's usually sort of a usual type of Italian thing. You kind of put the pressure on them, keep the pressure on them, but and then get the bombers silently. I don't know if he was trying to get bombers ever, because he didn't. Maybe it was. He had to
Oh,
cancel.
he definitely was. He definitely was trying
Uh-huh.
to get bombers. But the point
Yeah.
of aggressing at that point is that I'm making use of the fact that he overextended himself early, and then once I stabilize my defense and I can start gaining an economic advantage, and he overextended early, so now I'm taking advantage of that by pushing in key points, flanking him, and so had he not overextended, his sectors would be more adequately defended, and I wouldn't have been able to make the offensive threats that I did. And then when he makes that air transition, he'll have more than enough safety to get those bombers up. I won't be able to threaten him, so he'll be able to spend that money on bombers then instead of spending it on units just simply to stay alive.
Yeah. Yeah. Well. Yeah. As you can see, the incomes are even more or less. There's about four difference there. So. Yeah. It's the units that made all the difference in the type of unit. So. We say a lot. It's all about the money on RUSE. I mean, and it is gonna help you obviously if you have more money than your opponent. But the type of units that you get and the way you use your units is a very big factor as well. I mean, that's
There's a
you know
there's
goes
like a
without saying.
hierarchy. I mean, in any RTS game, there's a hierarchy of prioritizations that the gameplay makes, and at any
Yeah, exactly.
RTS game that's based on resource gathering, money is always at the head of that. So if you have more money, you'll have an advantage. You'll have a greater advantage. But in the event that money is equal, like here, it comes down to the tech choices that you make, the compositions that you build, the positions that you hold and engage in, and then like the tactical decisions you make. Like for example, utilizing towns and forests and stuff like that.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed. The Italian, well, I mean, you had your sides covered quite well, but so probably couldn't done anything really going around the sides. But Italians often want to do that attack from all sorts of sides and stuff because you want to use your speed to your advantage. And I think he did try, but
Right.
yeah, he gave up after he saw you had AT guns there. So
Right, and that, I mean, you could tell that his plan was definitely from the get-go. It was to be aggressive and to utilize his ability to dictate the speed of the game with his faster units. But my plan going in was not to overextend myself and to try and remain secure in the face of that aggression and try and limit his movements. And as you can see, it worked out really well, and so much so that in reaction to my tight defense, he overextended and he pressed too hard, and it cost him too much. And like his barracks on my right side was too far forward, and it was too vulnerable. So much so that he had to keep spending money popping units out of it in order to keep it safe. And while I could make really really minor threats to it and cause him to spend his money there.
exactly. Well,
And he has to spend it to defend himself as opposed to using it to make threats on me because I can more easily defend them because I have a tech advantage having AT guns and Guardia.
yeah, that's one thing. Yeah, in RUSE, I even yeah, I got caught with it the other day, and Tigger got angry at me. We were playing a 2v2, and we did lose because it was my fault. You kind of need to know when to attack and when not to attack. Like I was attacking and I was doing well, and I got the points. We got the lead. I was using Panzer IVs. Tigger got the air, so yeah, we were doing well. But then I kept attacking, and they had built the counters to what I was attacking with. But I kept attacking, and I was losing, and I just thought, well, attack more. But I was using, it doesn't often happen. But yeah, I wasn't thinking properly. You've got to, yeah, so you just got to know when to attack and when to defend. And I mean, that wasn't a big part in this game, I suppose. Well, I mean, yeah, he wasn't prioritizing stuff. Ruse PL, I would say. Like yeah, the Saetas when there's T-26s right there, but he obviously felt the bunkers were
Right. I
horrible.
mean, he wasn't making the correct um, tech decisions to reinforce his composition once I had the advantage there. Instead of
Yeah.
teching properly to respond to what I had, he overextended and he aggressed too heavily. Yeah.
Yeah, with Italian stuff, you often kind of need to have a bit of a buffer zone or something that you need to be able to hold your opponent away while you tech because your tech is a 75 second long, so with one base.
True. That's true. Yeah. It's definitely it's kind of a dead zone for Italy. But the the advantage to that, though, I mean, even though it takes so long, is that their tech, their upgrades, their vertical upgrades, like their vertical tech, is so cost efficient. The idea that you can,
Yeah.
spend money to get those M15s out of the armor base, and they're $15 a piece, and they're so fast, um, that that's a hugely cost-effective upgrade, especially versus Russia, uh, where you have a huge advancement in damage per cost and mobility per cost. That's really hard to respond to. And if he had made the decision to tech to something like M15s, that would have forced my hand. I would have had to tech again to stay alive, and he would be dictating the control of the game to me, as opposed to vice versa.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was a good game. It was short, wasn't it? It was just over 10 minutes long, I think. But hope you enjoyed it. And unless there's anything else to say, I think we're done. So goodbye from me and cupcake.
Bye bye.